you're seeing here is a mirage.
I came across this post that actually did a video about probably 6 months ago, but about everything that's going on with the NASA, the war, the politics. Anyway, just listen to this. It says, would you ever go to the movie theater or Broadway play and think, this may be real? No, because it's intended to be fake and appeal to your emotions. That's what all mainstream news is to drive the agenda forwards constantly every day like a machine. It's never sometimes real, sometimes fake. It's always predetermined and planned and arranged and practiced that show it works. That's how it works, sorry. It's a production with lots of coordinating efforts involved to influence the social masses in particular ways, and the talking heads take care of different narrative directions you can go with each view on the particular matter. Let me read that again. It's a production with lots of coordinating efforts involved to influence the social masses in particular ways. And the talking heads take care of different narrative directions you can go with each view on the particular matter. It separates people into echo chambers which can more easily classify you. You know, what echo chamber are you in? I noticed that my algorithms, usually when I go watch a video, if I scroll through the comments, I see people that I recognize, but they definitely got us all in echo chambers. So we've been talking about that for years. That's what YouTube does. But anyway, I thought this was a pretty good post. Hope you guys have a good day later on.
Sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false news
has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is 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 extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
I saw this plane come out of nowhere and just ream right into the side of the Twin Tower, exploding through the other side. And then I witnessed both towers collapse, one first and then the second, mostly due to structural failure because the fire was just too intense.
And I saw a man speaking kind of harshly to them in a loud voice saying, "It's going to be all right, it's going to be all right." And I thought it was a skit or a play, or some Cub Scouts were rehearsing.
Building, we hear gunfire. I assume that it's a code red drill because they told us earlier in the day that we're going to be having a code red drill. I assumed it was blanks.
I was sitting out the back with a coffee and I just saw a plane come across and was like wobbling like that. It was probably a meter from the roof above me, so I just ran to Dan Murphy's. And then I heard the bang and I looked around. There was just flames and smoke everywhere.
You could do. Once we got over the fence, I saw a parking lot actually just behind me over here with work trucks. And typically during a festival, multiple people use a truck and they tend to leave keys. And I was hoping that was the case, and lucked out on the first truck, opened the door and the keys were there, and looked at Jen and said, "Let's go get some people."
When gunfire pierced classrooms, Jesse Sanders' instinct was to protect the innocent.
So I just ran to the school. And then when I get there, the dude was shooting through the windows. And I said, "Hey, why don't you shoot this way instead, you know?"
My friend, she was she was the one who pushed me, and we were running, like we were already situated in the by the bookshelf, and she's like, grab a book, grab a book. So I took a book. It was a tiny book, but I took a book and I held it up, And I believe maybe the book kind of deterred some of the bullets, so it didn't hit me so badly, but she was the one who gave me the idea. Yeah, she definitely helped a lot.
It went into the back of my head, just right, like kind of in the middle of the back of my head, and then came out right here.
So, and I just got back from like basic training from Georgia, so I looked at the guy, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to fist fight this guy, and then I didn't know he had a knife, and it was like, it looked like that, like something was sticking out of his hand, maybe the length of my thumb, and then he just came up, I braced myself, side of the head, fell down to the ground, I never went like unconscious or anything, and I felt my head, my hand was covered in blood, my blood was running down my neck and on my shirt. And I looked, there was no like official lockdown or alarm going off, there's no mall security anywhere. Everyone's panicking. And I looked at the people in Victoria's Secret, they just closed the gate right there, and I'm standing on the outside like, what am I gonna do?
You could talk to him, what would you tell him?
That you're the best friend, like you're my best friend, and nothing's gonna stop that. There's no bullet that could ever break a friendship.
After you kept him from coming back into the door, what happened after that?
Well, we had barricaded the door. I used my foot. I had tennis shoes on.
Some lady came looking for her son. I hope he's not one of the children. She said, I heard you had 6 kids here. I said, I took him to the firehouse. Her face looked frozen in pain. I've never seen anything like that. Her face looked like it was stone. I said, what is your child's name? And she gave me the name. I have to find out about that kid.
And I'm pissed. Because my daughter I'm not going to see again. She's not here. She's not here. She's in North Lauderdale at whatever it is, King David Cemetery. That's where I go to see my kid now.
This is a club that nobody wants to be in. And please, could we do something with the assault weapons so that we could stop this club from ever getting any new members?
It was on that Wednesday afternoon. He was in Holocaust Studies class on the first floor of the freshman building when bullets started to fly.
Desk.
Did any bullets get into your classroom?
Yes, many bullets were shot through my class. I believe 4 people were shot in my class, and 2 people actually did pass away in my class, right in front of me.
I didn't shoot the shooter, but I saw like the shots and everything. I hear.
And then your teacher went down?
He was just shot and like fell down. And I saw him.
What was your teacher doing? Did he go towards the door to shut it?
He was closing the door and then he got shot.
What's his name?
Mr. Beagle from geography class.
I walked outside right there and I looked down here. They were sitting there. They were sitting there. I had no idea why they were there.
My nephew, he acted as a coward, and he took a lot of innocent lives. And I'm sorry, man.
During the confrontation, the church usher was pistol whipped. There was a significant struggle between the two. During the struggle, the gunman shot himself.
Police still partly on fire when these pictures were taken. What?
And there have been multiple injuries. We have one of the witnesses here, Emma, who will, yes, one of the survivors who is going to. And
did you hear the blast?
No. No. No one. I don't think any. Unless you were in the carriage, you wouldn't have heard it because, yeah, no, just screams, running. And obviously, you know, it does coincide with the same period that schools are reopening. So do There were with a lots lot of of school children yeah. in their uniforms, and that was really heartbreaking to see some of them hurt. Hello, I've just seen my friend. I've got to go. Okay. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for talking to us.
Keep her down, and she was just so disoriented. I just remember her just like looking around because she was asleep, just looking, thinking what's going on, and just trying to keep calm so that she didn't start freaking out even more. And it was just so scary, and her face just...
I can understand an innocent night where you take your children to the theater in sheer
I was trying to be calm.
You were going to lose your life that night, Jarrell?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Jarrell, did you think you were going to lose your life that night?
My life definitely flashed before my eyes at that moment. It was, it's hard to say because when I first was hit, that's when it got very real for me.
Special guest Jean Rosen.
Nancy, I want to be with these children. I want to read to them. I want to show them there's light away from the darkness. I want to be their grandpa, their uncle, Jean, whoever. I want to spend time with them as much as they will allow and their parents will allow. I want them to come to my home. And I just want to love them.
I do see people burned, people's hair singed, clothes covered in something that looked like white cotton or a white foam or something. So maybe something exploded, but they seem to be covered in lots of debris, possibly from that.
Parent, and then the second child came out, and she was the sole survivor from the other class, and she was absolutely head to toe covered in blood and flesh, just hanging on her whole body. And her mother was in that parking lot that day, luckily, but when I saw her, I knew that it wasn't just a shooting, it had been a massacre. If that weapon had been in place, he wouldn't have had that gun. But what happened instead, what happened 22 decades ago was that the assault weapons ban was left to expire. And they had started at that time, the CDC had started researching on ways to prevent gun violence. And what happened instead was that the NRA and the NSSF got a hold of some of our elected officials, and they were able to get them to stop trying to find out ways to get information to prevent gun violence. Well, we weren't looking. We weren't paying attention. They changed the laws. They let these things expire.
Susan, the president...
Because we had a fire alarm earlier that day, and that was a drill. So we thought this was a drill too, just another one. Because we have a lot of fire alarms, a lot of fire drills at the school. After we heard the first gunshot, we initially thought it was a drill. Actually, that was a bad choice. Actually, that was a bad choice because the janitor... Sorry.
Okay, you're fine, David, you're fine.
Honestly, when I was going out, I was kind of in... Hold on. When I was going out, I was in shock.
Saying, I don't know how to put this in perspective.
So most of my friends that made it out, one of them went into a bathroom in the same, I believe in the same hallway as the shooter. Oh, hold on. One of them went into the same bathroom, I believe, as the hallway shooter. He was in there at the same time, and he was in the bathroom, and he didn't know if he was going to live.
sink in. Kind of catapult to propaganda. Kind of catapult to propaganda.
I'm talking about a fish story.